Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. Well, we've gotten to the point where we are at what I call last but not least, probably the last week we're going to have to put deals together that we can get into the system and closed before the end of the year. And with that in mind, I really believe that everyone should be beating the bushes and shaking the trees and going out there and taking advantage of the opportunities that are available and the ability to exercise your competitive advantage, the ability to help somebody navigate this process before the and close before the end of the year, or maybe if it's just navigate this process and get into contract on a property right now, where the sellers are highly motivated to put a deal together. And that'll lay the foundation for the beginning of 2024. And let's be honest, nobody has a really bad year if they have a great first quarter. And the first step in the first quarter, I believe, begins by really executing and working hard the first couple of weeks of December, when the ability to still get a deal done when others can't get it done is still available to you. But that energy of getting people out there, people who are looking now are serious about buying, people who will open their houses to show their houses are serious about selling now. Deals can come together now. And even if they aren't scheduled to close by the end of the year, setting them up to close in January isn't a bad thing either. So it's really important to understand that you've got a huge competitive advantage over many of most of your competition, people who can't possibly put a deal together now and get it closed by the end of the year. And we all know that we can. And I think exercising that and having those conversations, again, even if a deal doesn't come together, sets the stage and differentiates you from your competition amongst the potential clients and referral partners in your market. We've had another solid week in the bond market, and rates continue to improve slowly but surely. We saw the continuing weakness in jobs numbers this week, and it's something that we've seen. It's been slowly turning this way, where the Fed's insistence that they have to keep raising rates because the job market's too strong, and that wages are accelerating too quickly. Well, the last few weeks, those numbers have really backed off a lot. ADP this week has shown numbers for jobs that were significantly below expectations, and we will have to see what initial claims look like today. Continuing claims, even more important, last week, first time over 1.9 million was a big threshold to cross. And if that number continues, those continuing claim numbers continue to grow, it means those people are not in the workforce, that they're still looking, they're still drawing benefits. Obviously, the way the system works now, if people exhaust their unemployment benefits or don't file, they kind of just disappear in the system and don't count as quote unquote unemployed. But we know better. It's the labor participation rate is really another key indicator. And we're going to see, again, the BLS jobs report is for November is going to come out Friday morning. So today, this morning, we're going to see initial claims and continuing claims, which are always important, but that BLS number will be significant on Friday, and it could be a market mover. Not expecting massive movement, because as well as I do, mortgage interest rates, they only rise really quickly. They never fall really quickly. But we've been on a pretty good run, and with the bond market looking the way it is, seeing where the activity levels are, it's really important. And I think the other thing that's really important that we have to look at is overall loan applications for people who believe nothing's happening this time of year. Well, mortgage applications were up 2.8% from last week. And ironically, something that we've talked about here, which people discount, far too much, is that refinances actually led the way. Refinances were actually up, seeing almost a 14% increase in refinances. And, they're just under 10% of where they were this time last year. So for everybody who said nobody's doing anything because of rates, and people are doing stuff. When people are sitting there saying nobody's refinancing 3% and 4% mortgages, well, clearly people are refinancing, and much of that is being done for people who are looking at total cash flow and realizing that going from a 3% rate or a 4% rate to a 7% rate, if I can get rid of 25% or 20% credit card rates, or if I could get rid of this $800,000, $900,000 a month car payment, the pressure of what they've spent. And that becomes really the important thing. Is it's not about what the interest rate is, and it never is about what the interest rate is on your loan. It's about what are your monthly payments. We know this when we qualify people. We don't qualify people for a particular interest rate. We qualify them on a total monthly payment. And if somebody can refinance a house going from 3% to 7% and drop their total monthly payments by $500 or $1,000 or more, that doesn't become a stigma. It becomes a reality of cash flow. So keep that in mind. I also want to congratulate those people who have been commenting or reaching out to me and letting me know that they have taken the message to heart and been working really hard, pushing the market really hard, and they have found opportunities. They have put together loans that are closing in both December and January, because they decided a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving that they were going to push really hard through the end of the year and seize opportunities. And you know what? The work works. And for those of you who have gone out there and seen the fruits of your labor result in, 1, 2, 5, 10 or more new loans for December, and a pipeline that looks encouraging for January, I congratulate you for having done the work, and I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate you listening to the words here and doing something with them, because again, I can only put the information out there. It's up to you to pick it up and run, and I'm proud of those that have done so. I also wanted to add this week before I conclude is, going into the new year, the first quarter, I'm looking to add 1 or 2 new teams to my coaching portfolio, depending upon size. I'm only a one-person situation. My attention, can only focus in so many places at once. And while I like to keep a steady schedule, I don't want to be at this stage of my career. I don't want to be stressed and pushed, but I do have availability for teams on, both Monday and Tuesday of the week. And if you're out there, if you know anybody, if you're watching this and have benefited from this and know a team or a branch or a small company that could use some help and some direction, I'd be thrilled if you'd let them know and have them reach out to me. Mike at impcoaching.com. We'll set up a phone call. We'll have a conversation about what's going on in your market, what you're doing, what's happening, what you'd like to see, discuss your budget, and see if we can't put something together to help 2024 be everything that it can. So as always, Mike at impcoaching.com. Pay attention to the markets today and tomorrow. Really going to be important. We're hoping for the bond market to continue to improve. And if you have any questions or comments, just reach out, let me know, and we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.